Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday show. Now this is a show that I am doing every week, and I connect to some of my guides from the spirit world, and they generally pertain to the Bible era or some of the saints. Now I know that I've got St. John the Baptist here today, and he wishes to talk, which is quite exciting. But before we go to him, I just want to say, please subscribe and press the bell, and that way you can get notified of when I'm doing other videos and sort of what's going on and the Sunday shows or the positivity shows that I'm doing. So St. John the Baptist, he's just stepping forward and he's just coming close to me, and he's saying that he's very, very honoured to be able to communicate his words through us. And he says that there has never really been a time where they have been able to express themselves to so many people in the way that we are doing through these videos. And he's thanking me for doing them, but he's also thanking all of you for acknowledging the words that they are coming forward with. And he says that this is a particularly important day to him because it is the day when Jesus went into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, and he's saying that he always admires Jesus for his bravery, because he always, almost like he stood fast in what he wanted to do, and he would always go forward and be the person that he needed to be, the person that God wanted him to be. And he would always do this with bravery, regardless of the threat and the danger that was all around him at the time. And he admires him greatly. And he says that when Jesus came back to spirit, and when they were both reunited together in the kingdom of light, is what they always call it. When they were reunited, he says that it was such a joy to be with Jesus, because he feels that Jesus was actually one of his closest allies and one of his closest friends, and indeed a cousin. And he always says to Jesus that he would have done anything to help him and assist him in his work. He's saying that now that we're in the spirit world or heaven or the kingdom of light, whatever you want to call it, now that we're all over here in spirit, he says that we spend a lot of time together, and we discuss our times when we were on the earth, and we also discuss many of the things that we need to do to help mankind today. And these discussions, he says, can last quite a long time. But he says that one of the things that he's always impressed by is Jesus's ability to see the correct way to do things. And he always admires his wisdom, and his wisdom is so great that he sort of almost bows down to his wisdom. And he says that when he may have a thought, and then Jesus will come in and say, no, it has to be done this way. And he says that I always go away and I think about it, and I realise that what Jesus is saying is right, because he always comes in with the right way of doing things. He's also saying to me that he's talking about Mother Mary also, and he says, he spends a lot of time with Mother Mary also, and he says that he has great admiration for Mother Mary, because she is a great sort of organizer of people, and she will always sort of manage people and help people wherever she can. But one of the things that she does in our world, which he admires so greatly, is the fact that she looks to help souls that are in distress when they are arriving into our world. He says, because sometimes when people have had a challenging passing or a difficult passing or a sudden passing, he says that the soul is so confused and so, finds it difficult to come across. And he says that he always admires her work because she will always be the first one there to try and assist a soul who is having great difficulty in passing and getting them across to our world. And he says that the other person that he spends a lot of time with, of course, is God. And God is, he says that God is a very real person, and he wants people to know that whatever your belief or your thoughts about life, he can certainly tell you that God is very, very real and very real to him, because he says that once he came back to heaven and met up with God after his life as St. John the Baptist, he said God made him look and re-look at his life and made him reconsider what he needed to do, and he was told almost straight away that it was essential that St. John the Baptist went back to the earth and took on a new life. In other words, he had to reincarnate. He had to have another life on the earth plane, because he's saying to me that God did not call me back. God did not call me back. This was an incident that happened that caused me to pass earlier than I was meant to. He said that he always knew, once he had embarked on this life and come back again, he always knew that life was essential for all of his lives and for all of his existence, because without that life he wouldn't have been able to be the soul that he is today. He's very grateful for God helping him to see sense and helping him to do what is right. And because at the time, he says, he didn't want to go. He said, I feel that I want to stay here, he says. I wanted to stay here. And God said, no, you must go back. This is essential for your growth and your well-being and your new life and your new and the lives ahead of you. For every life will be impacted if you do not have this additional life, because you shouldn't have come back at this time. And so he agreed, obviously, and went and had this life. And St. John the Baptist is saying to me that now that he is back in spirit, and he says that he is so happy to be here and feels that he doesn't want to have any more lives. He feels that his lives on the earth plane are finished, and he feels that he's more suited to helping God in his kingdom and helping mankind from the kingdom of light, and always being available to help mankind. He says that he's asking you to please pray to him, and pray to him because he will always be there to help mankind wherever it is needed. And he's like bowing his head in front of me, and he says that he thanks everyone for listening and looks forward to communicating again. Thank you very much. And so if you like the videos, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell, and see you next week. Okay, bye bye.